Hey everyone, today I'll show you how to factor difference of squares. You might have seen this formula a square minus b squared equals a plus b times a minus b. First I'll show you how this works. So if I take the right hand side and multiply these two binomials, I'll show you that we'll get a square minus b squared. So if I multiply a times a, I get a squared. A times negative b is ab, negative ab. B times a is ab or ba. Let's go ahead and put ab. Positive b times a negative b is negative b squared. So you see that in the middle we have a negative ab and a positive ab, and they get cancelled. So we are left with a squared minus b squared, which is what we have here. So now let's use this formula and try to factor a few problems. So let's get started. X squared minus 81. I have a difference of two squares. I can write this as x squared minus 9 squared. Now this looks exactly as a squared minus b squared. In this case, my a is x and my b is 9. So a squared minus b squared is a plus b times a minus b. X squared minus 9 squared will be x plus 9 and x minus 9. Let's go to the next one. 49x squared. Let's take minus 100. Now I know this is a perfect square. That's a perfect square. But I have to write this 49x squared as a quantity squared. Here you see that only the x has a square. So I can write this as 7x squared minus 10 squared. Now this is exactly in the form a squared minus b squared. And we know a squared minus b squared is a plus b times a minus b. So this one would be 7x plus 10 times 7x minus 10. Okay, let's do a similar problem. If you want, you can pause the video and try on your own after I put the problem. 9x squared minus 64. And we have to factor it. Difference of perfect squares, okay? But we have to write it in the form a squared minus b squared. So this one would be 3x squared minus 8 squared. And again, this is in the form a squared minus b squared, which would give you 3x plus 8 times 3x minus 8. Let's do something challenging now. 9a cubed minus 900a. Okay, this is not difference of squares. But what you see here is a 9, which is a factor for this 9 and 900. Okay, and I see that a is common to both the terms. In other words, the GCF of these two terms is 9a. Now, if you take the 9a as the GCF, you are left with a squared minus 100. Now, this is a difference of squares. You can bring down the 9a and say that This is a square minus 10 square. And we know a square minus b square is a plus b times a minus b. So the factors for this expression are 9a times a plus 10, a minus 10.